UIC.
Freedom the people of
Hell yeah.
Freedom the people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom the people of want. Freedom the people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom the people of want. Freedom the people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom the people of want. Freedom the people of need. Yeah,
Yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road. Ready for broke every chain. Then when you free up the people, levitate. Jamaica member, you ever great. I feel burn up the fire upon every snake. Me give thanks in every way. God still a look down once see we safe. UIC run the road long time. GLP and PSL we out. Still I do the test even though we know the end result. If them coulda kill with them catch we and hang we know. No force no coercion, me freedom in a step. No one fi rob we and kill we and feel them and go make it out. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. Yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road. Yeah, me drop the braffin now, and then I laughing now. What them talking about? Everything cement and we not talking growth. Jamaican intellectuals are marching now. Them couldn't get the last laugh, though them laughing loud. We don't need the small talk when we talking, bro. We don't need them 5 grand, we need to part them now. Long time GLP and PSL we out. Still I do the test even though we know the end result. If them coulda kill with them catch we and hang we know. No force, no coercion, me freedom in a step. No one fi rob we and kill we and feel them and go make it out. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of UIC Liberty TV. I trust everybody doing great and that you guys have been enjoying your day so far. So for this segment, we don't plan on taking up a lot of your time today. We are here to give you an update on how our fundraising, a thousand donors to give $25 per month is going. And also, we do have some special guests on and some persons we're still expecting who will be giving you some information on some upcoming events that we have. All right, I'm not seeing anybody in the chat section as yet for me to give their personal shout outs to, but I do hope to see some comments coming in soon after. But with me today, or the persons who I should have with me today, would be Mr. and Mrs. Babatunde. I should have Owen and Gary Aljo, who are the twin persons and are a part of the finance committee. We should also have Mr. Donovan Moore, who is our VP for Middlesex. So we already have Mr. and Mrs. Babatunde here, so I'll bring them on to give an introduction. Mr. and Mrs. Babatunde?
Let me just unmute.
You guys can hear clearly, right?
Yeah, the mic was muted. That's how it is sometimes.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead. Just give them a brief introduction about you guys.
Good evening, everyone. I trust that everybody is doing well. I'm Karen Babatunde.
Yeah, greetings all. Yeah, good that we could have, sort of made some time to share with the wider audience the upcoming activities. So all in all, we're looking forward to an informative and powerful reasoning this afternoon.
Wonderful. And also, Babatunde is the council candidate for the Papine division in Kingston. Just to give a little bit, I know most of the persons are used to you by now, Babatunde, but for Mrs. Tunde, not many persons may be, so familiar with her. So could you give them a brief description of yourself or just a brief background description?
Well, I am a teacher by profession, and I love the visual and the performing arts. So I basically do music, and I love what I see happening with the UIC in terms of its vision for Jamaica. Hence, I found I decided to actually join the movement and to see how best I can contribute to a better Jamaica.
Okay, wonderful. You want to give us a brief background as well, Mr. Babatunde?
Um, all right, so I am, and this is for the audience watching now. A lot of the people in the areas that I am responsible for will be watching this. So, greetings to all great people of our sacred planet. I am Babatunde. I am your council candidate for the Papine area of St. Andrew Eastern. So, big ups to all the communities, land lease, Tavern Drive, Tavern Avenue, Mona Common, Augusttown, Premix, Hermitage, Goldsmith Villa, all of that. Quite a huge area and so on. So big ups to all of you. And of course, if y'all don't hear your name, or the community name mentioned yet before this is done, we'll come back at that. So yeah, man, give thanks for joining in. This is the UIC, United Independence Congress. And we're grateful for the support. Of course, as we go on, we will attract more support, more individuals who are sympathetic to what we are doing. So love, joy, and happiness, life, and health. Give thanks.
Okay, thank you for that. And I did mention we're awaiting some persons to come on. They are now on. So, Mr. Gary Aldro, just give the introduction, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Gary. One second, I think I need to adjust my. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you
Hold
clearly.
1 second. Oh, you are? Okay. Yeah, I'm Gary Aldro, a member of the Finance Committee, chairing the Finance Committee, actually. And it's a pleasure being here. I must say good evening to everyone that has joined us this evening, the audience as well. Pleasant good evening. And it's always a pleasure being here to speak on behalf of the UIC, because I think the UIC is the party that needs to be in power so that it can truly represent the people. The people has been neglected by both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, when they demanded mandates and all different things that have trodden on the rights of the Jamaican people. And I think they need to be made aware of that through the UIC being the party elected. We're hoping to do that through the councillor divisions in the upcoming local elections. So we'll start with that, hoping to be victorious there, or to show at least a good showing there, and then from there build to the general election, because the people need quality persons to represent them, not quality alone from academics, but quality in the sense of respecting the rights of the people, respecting the fact that everyone is equal and that should be treated equally in all aspects of life. And that is not being done. There have been 2 laws in Jamaica, 2 rules, one for the government officials and the elites, and one for the common people. That cannot be tolerated and should not be tolerated. That has to change. And that will change under the UIC government. And I'm just waiting for that day to happen, so that the people of Jamaica can be lifted and put up on a pedestal where they belong, and not be trodden on by the other 2 parties and historically what have been done to them. I thank you for listening, and I'll pass this back over to Nika.
Problem. Thank you so much, Mr. Gary Aldro. Now we'll have the other Aldro come on, Owen Aldro, to just give a brief introduction of himself.
Hello, pleasant good evening to all, both in the listening side and on the presenting side. It's always a pleasure representing the UIC, and we look forward to the day when the UIC is in government. All right, we expect big things to happen. We expect that the people will triumph along with the UIC, and they will see how good governance and good management works. Right? So the UIC is looking for that day to happen, so the people can benefit from the efforts that we are putting out today. It's pretty difficult now, but like anything else, starting new requires hard work, requires sacrifices, and some of which we understand it's very difficult. The people, I know they're under a lot of pressure, and this goes both locally and internationally. So it requires a lot of effort on the part of contributors and donors to give to the UIC, with the understanding that the UIC is going to defend their position, right, which is what we are here for. All right, and note the fact that our democratic rights, our democracy has been eroding over the many years that this party, especially the Jamaica Labour Party, has been in power. It started in the Senate, where predated letters were introduced in order to influence what takes place in the Senate, which is the upper house that passes the laws for Jamaica. So that tramples the rights of Jamaican people. And even when it was pointed out, it's not until the Constitutional Court ruled that it was unconstitutional before it was pulled back. All right, so it shows the intent from the very beginning of this government. And it follows up and it follows through. We see also with the SOE, state of emergency, and how it has been used as a crime plan. I mean, totally ridiculous to use something like an SOE for a crime plan. I don't know what imaginary thing that could have even come up with that idea. Right? And then we see where it also trampled on the right of the youths, especially in the communities that were mostly impacted. And the Constitutional Court had to rule again against it before it was pulled back. So we see that trend that is happening. We see also with the DRMA and how the rights of the people were violated. That again, it's going to go before the Constitutional Court for a ruling, and we expect that we'll also get a ruling that it is unconstitutional as well. And that clearly took away the rights of people of choice, free choice. And the trend continues. So these are the things that we have to look at. And as we see where it started and where it's going, we know that it's getting progressively worse. And so we cannot allow this to happen. And what has also happened is that the opposition has been very quiet. They have not come out forcefully against all of these legislation that erodes the democratic right of the people. They have been pretty quiet. So basically, the people are at the whims of the legislations that have no opposition. All right. So bear this in mind and understand that the UIC is there to change all of this, to make sure that the people comes first. The people deserve to have the right of speech, have the democratic right to make a choice, and the UIC, that's what the UIC stands for. All right, so bear that in mind as you ponder your choices and the donations and contribution that needs to be made. Think about that very, 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 very hard and make that choice. All right, I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I'll pass this back over to Naika.
All right, thank you, Gary. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Owen. I'm sorry. But we do have one last interview to do before we into our presentation. So I'll now bring on Mr. Donovan Moore, who is the VP of Middlesex, to give his introduction.
Thank you, Naika. Are you everybody hearing me? Am I being heard?
I'm clear, sir.
Oh, great. All right. So you see, I'm very excited about this opportunity to be not just a part of the UIC, but to be talking to us about the way forward and how everybody can be involved. In one of my presentations, somebody said something that I'm begging, or we are good beggars. And I'd like to just turn that and say that my families are abroad. For example, Dr. Elvis Foster would testify that I am not good at begging because I never beg him anything. But when it comes on, as I said before, to the UIC and to the progress of Jamaica, if a little begging, a little professional soliciting is what is required to get us to understand that we need to all make sacrifices to move Jamaica forward, then that is what I will do. Let me just share with you my understanding of where we are right now in a synopsis. It's like you're a baker and you're putting all the ingredients together in your cake. And maybe maybe it's not a business, maybe it's a family, right? But you run out of the cooking gas, as oftentimes those little things affect some of us in Jamaica who are economically challenged. And you buy the 25 or the 30-pound cylinder, but you run out. You're cooking your Sunday dinner. And if you're a housewife, for example, or even if you're a working mother, you just need your hubby, your husband to get to him to say, buy the cooking gas, to bring home to finish that lovely dinner that he's about to get. We're at this point where, like, let us say, let me use things that I can relate to. And forgive me if I'm using any jargons now. It's like you're an engineer and you're about to design a 24,000 volts, a 24 kV power utility distribution system to supply some persons in your island that have never gotten electricity. And you're at this pivotal stage. Sorry, I didn't carry an insulator in here, but you're at this pivotal stage where you need some insulators that can insulate the line at the right voltage. And you're just dying to get this insulator because it is necessary to finish that line to supply those persons that never get any power yet in your island, even Jamaica. It's like you're a surgeon, like my sister Latoya Lewis. she's in the medical industry up north, and I'm sure if she hear this, she's gonna smile. It's like you're that surgeon, or you're like that nurse, or you're like that practitioner that is over the patient, and you need a critical supply of something, whether it be oxygen or blood or whatever, to make that process successful. If you're a chemist, it's like you're about to make a brilliant breakthrough, and you discover that there is an important catalyst that can make the chemical reaction happen. Ladies and gentlemen, in the diaspora and in Jamaica, you are just like that critical ingredient. And we are just like that critical ingredient that is needed to make a big difference in the process of transforming Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at this nexus, this critical point in history and in the future, between the future and the past, where we can make that transformation to make Jamaica a great place. Let me tell you why I'm passionate about this. So I had a brother, right? And his wife, and they came back here and they set up shop to say that they're going to do some business. And guess what? I'm going to be very Jamaican now. Some dirty criminal boy come to them to say that to operate, they would need to pay some extortion money, right? That's the reality of the Jamaica that we live in. And if the crime thing hasn't touched any of us personally, I hope to God it doesn't. Because I can relate to it, for example, in what I wrote in my book, Untamed Passions of an Enigmatic Jamaican Man. The crime thing, the sufferation, the reality of it is very serious. So we ask ourselves the question, what are we going to do about it, ladies and gentlemen? Whether you're living in Jamaica under the pressure of it, whether you're living in Jamaica floating just above it, or whether you're in the diaspora and you are some of those persons that contribute to the livelihood of Jamaica, the remittances that you send help to keep the economy buoyant, right? Whatever category we find ourselves in tonight as Jamaicans, the question is, what are we going to do about it? I'm going to pause here and give back the presentation to the moderator, because there are some things that I'm just bubbling to say, because I am highly driven, highly pleased to be a part of this great opportunity for transformation in Jamaica, land we love.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I was just muted just now. But I'm back on. So I their personal shout out since we started. Not many comments were there for me to give a shout out. But before we proceed or go into our, I'd like to give a shout out to Sylvester Lawrence, Alan Scott, cool guy who is here, Miss Audrey Salmon. I'm seeing Joanne or Joan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Williams Roberts. I'm seeing welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Omar Delgado. I'm also seeing Quenmix Amadi. I hope I'm pronouncing your names correct. Yeah, and Mr. Oh, I did Christopher Lawrence, JMH and Brent Gordon so far with fun. All right, thank you so much for joining us, and we do hope to have many other persons join the live afterwards. So before we, well, just now I'm going to go into the presentation, but I'll allow Mr. Babatunde to give an introduction on our upcoming events before we go to the finances.
People in what I call the Liverspora,
Go ahead.
aka diaspora. Of course, to our locals on the island, we are in for a meganomic experience going forward. As we chat right now, we're in high frequency preparation for the United Independence Congress AI tour, not artificial intelligence, but UIC. Yes, kindly excuse the virus. Those are some of the viruses that the UIC will be removing from our nation in very short order. So, we are in high frequency preparation for the AI tour, and not artificial intelligence, but of course, all island tour. Our first tour will be on 30th July 2022. We are slated to start in St. Thomas. So please look out for us, natives of St. Thomas, the so-called forgotten parish. We will be there, of course, in honor of all our sacred ancestors. We often say we carry on the work in the name of Paul Bogle, in the name of Sam Sharp, in the name of Nani, Chief Tai Chi, aka Chief Taki, and many more. Those whose names we don't know, those who fought in the Marant Bay uprising, crushing the wicked from that time, and still crushing the wicked even now. We walk in the power and in the light of our sacred ancestors, and we move forward. So it's a joy to come out there and be with our people in St. Thomas. So that will be our first stop. And when we say all island tour, every parish will see the UIC. Every parish will know a lot more about the UIC. And so to put an event of this sort together, it takes skillful organization, of which the UIC is honored to have. We have great planners, some really great thinkers, and they have joined forces. That core team, we have been given the directive by our great president, and I dare say Jamaica's next prime minister, Joseph L. Patterson, and we're on the move now. So, as your questions come in, I'll answer them the best way that is, in terms of what we are actually doing. You'll only get what is real, so we can't provide you with anything fictitious. Of course, you know that the UIC is and forever will be the change that you can trust. So, over to Naika again, today's moderator for this aspect of things.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. I thought you were going to mention the national event as well, but I'll give Donovan that opportunity to give an introduction on it. All right.
So
Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
thank you. What a big task. That's a mammoth task. I'm wondering if we should left out the big secret that will soon to be not any secret at all. Why? Because all of Jamaica will be mobilized to head to a certain venue. Should I keep that, Naika? Should I let go the venue? But they will be heading to a certain place that can hold thousands and thousands of persons. And I tell you, if I'm not excited about anything, I am certainly excited about that. Because let me go back to what I was saying, ladies and gentlemen. You see where we are now, and with the plan, the tour culminating into that event. I think it's October the 30th, right? That culmination will see the beginning of the transformation that Jamaica deserves to have. Whenever you attend that event, ladies and gentlemen, no more. When we go out to Mandeville the other day, there were some persons claiming that, you know, I heard very little about the UIC, or I heard about the UIC, but I didn't see people coming around, or some other thing. But when that event hits Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, it's going to have such a gravitational pull that it's going to cause some rising tides and some earth tremors in Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, the UIC is all about genuine change, not about fabrication, not about substitution that doesn't hold any water. We are about impacting the lives of the Jamaican people for the better. And as Baba Tunde said, we can't deal with the fabrication. I myself detest hypocrisy and pretense. And so, regardless of whatever criticism will come, one thing I can tell you is that the UIC is the government that will take over Jamaica, that will slowly but surely. We're not going to wave any magic wand. What we're going to do are the things that can be done right now. If the government that served us now and the ones before had the political will to make those changes. But the UIC, ladies and gentlemen, is that united party as one that will make those changes. And that is why I'm happy to be a part of it. I am dying to enter into the phase of soliciting your support and to tell you how you can get involved. That's what I'm excited about being on this live for tonight, you know. But I don't want to preempt the leading of the moderator. So I just want to stay at the event. So the event is going to be great. You're going to be astonished that there is another movement. In fact, the best political movement that exists in Jamaica today that has not just the potential, but the reality of the ability to transform Jamaica. So some of us may fool ourselves, not us in the UIC, nor those who know better. But some people fool themselves that it's only the people that have been elected from the PNP and JLP can run Jamaica, and Jamaica not even run good. Now think logically. That's why we teach, as an educator, I can tell you this. That's why we teach mathematics, you know, in school. And we try to get people to step up to another level of reasoning. In fact, most of our students have this idea now that math is hard and so on, which probably testifies to the fact of why our thinking is not as advanced as it should be. So to do medicine or to do engineering, to do all of those sciences, you need maths as a good foundation. And let us reason with a little rationality. If you have political movements that have been undermining the people, that have been giving you less than what you deserve, that have been not producing the kind of results that you need. And that's why we're going to have the event come the 30th to show you clearly how governance can be done and how it can be done well. My Spanish teacher, I wonder if I can recall the phrase. Maybe I didn't pay attention I want to recall the phrase after I get the next chance. But my Spanish teacher in Spanish said, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. And we are going to demonstrate to the Jamaican people here and abroad that we believe that the people in Jamaica deserve good government. And we're going to show you. And come the 30th, leading up to the 30th, as a matter of fact, in our tours, but come the 30th, that big culmination is something that you do not want to miss. To miss it is to diss yourself, to diss your family, and to, as Baba Tunde would say, to diss your ancestors. You don't, ladies and gentlemen, on a serious note, you do not want to miss that event. Even if you're ambivalent to what we have to say, even if you're a detractor, even if you fell out of grace with the UIC, whatever category you fall in, I am encouraging every single person, even if you never hear about the UIC yet, even if you heard a little about the UIC and what happened to Mr. Patterson fighting for freedom. When it lists out, for example, the persons who are national heroes, I would tend to call names like Sam Sharp, like Paul Bogle, like Nana of the Maroons. Those are the persons who I would tend to list, and the list would be very short than what is there now, because those are the people who understood what sacrifice meant to stand up for Jamaica. Some people call it the Morant Bay Rebellion, and I don't call it a rebellion. I call it the Morant Bay War. Because we have to understand that in the global context of our reality, we live in a battle, and we're not fighting to put down anybody, but we are fighting for our rightful place. And we must have governments that seek to represent the people and Jamaica once and for all. Whether you want to be JLP, you must know that. Whether you want to be PNP, you must know that. Whether you never vote as yet or none at all, you must know that. And you must know that it is the exercise of your vote that will enable us to make that change. Let me just stick to it, and I don't want to get too passionate because I might deviate from my expected assignment. My mandate tonight is to tell you that we're going to have this big event. It's going to be at a certain place. Maybe I should allow Babatunde as a chairman to tell you, because I don't know if we should let out that secret yet. But it's going to be at a venue that can host a lot of us. Thank you very much, moderator Naika.
Thanks again, Donovan, for introduction. I did see a comment with someone asking where in St. Thomas would be our first stop. No, the plan that we have is to, because the truth is to every corner of each parish. What we choose to do is go to the more populated, maybe find 2 or 3 populated areas or some popular that we could stop at and interact with persons. So the real of the All Island tour, and we'll be doing that for all the parishes. The last tour that was done in was it December? December. The only parish that did not get to meet the UIC was St. Thomas. So we're giving you guys a prioritized no, and we're coming first. Then we continue. All right. Donovan did call on Babatunde, so I'm going to bring it back on to give his.
All right. So just to give a little bit. There's not a lot that can be said just now, but all of the tours that we're working on now for all parishes, that is a build up to a meganomic experience and event that will be held in a very accessible point in Jamaica. It's not much that can be said about that one for now, but we really do need your help. That event will cost a couple $1 million to stage, and so the donors, please. And one of the things I'd like to encourage all of you to do, those in the liver spoil, start getting ready to take a vacation in October. As we go on, you'll know which day exactly in October, but start getting ready. See, just like how people come out here for Sting, Rebel Salute, and back in the early time there was this gospel concert called Genesis. Huge. So that's what we're thinking of. So we want you all now to start getting ready, making your plans. Make sure you have your passport and visa is up to date, because we'll be inviting you all to come out for this national event. So it's not only stage show and dance and whatever you come for, you now come for an opportunity to help in the betterment of Jamaica. We're gonna know if the moderator allows, we want to delve into the plans for St. Thomas. So let's see if we can get that go ahead from the moderator. We can do that, Naiko.
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're just hearing you now.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so I'll allow Mrs. Babaton to go through some of those plans are, and then we'll forward if there's any questions that you have. we'll definitely take that. Go ahead.
Well, we really need your support, the support of everyone. So now that you are so excited about all that we have to offer, now we are going to make this a team event, just like the relay. So we are soliciting your contributions, right? So we need some donations from you to assist with our budget for the All Island Tour first, and then for that event, that mega event. So our proposed budget for the St. Thomas Tour is $500,000. And this is a quick breakdown. So for transportation, we are thinking of at least $120,000. Refreshments around 66,000 thereabout. For promotions, that's about $90,000. Security, 25,000. Venue rental, 30,000. Accommodation, 10,000. Prizes and gifts, plus miscellaneous fees and other expenditures. What we intend to do is make this as big as is possible, because remember that we didn't get to stop it in December. So we want a lot of supporters to come out. We want to mobilize people from the area, especially St. Thomas first, and then other areas of Jamaica to come gather. We can have rapping sessions. We can have our presentations in both oral and visual forms. So we need your support in terms of donations, financial and otherwise. And you can also make pledges for our next tour if you're not able to assist for July the 30th. I think someone had asked which location. It's Morant Bay that we are thinking of. So that's basically it. So we need your support. We know it's not so easy in this time, especially since the past 2+ years. But every mickle make a muckle, as they say. And if you can give your $25 or more, we are really, really, really grateful. So thank you for what you shall donate. And I trust that you'll be encouraged to give a little extra. Okay, over to you, Naika.
Thank you, Mrs. Babatunde, Mr. and Mrs. Babatunde. As they would have mentioned, guys, we really cannot do this without you. We are literally depending on you. So in any way that you can contribute to these events, we would really, really, really appreciate it. I know that we have a goal called getting 1,000, which is getting 1,000 persons to donate $25 per month, right? Even though that's have and what could really really fund the operations of the UIC, we really appreciate even the $10, the other, the other donations, because it is what helps to build to what we have today, right? That's what it used to be before we came up with the idea. So we really appreciate everybody and every bit of donation that comes in. Now, as it pertains to that, now for the goal, it's 1,000, but so far we only have 27 persons donating monthly. That's as of January, right? So we still have 973 to go, right? We need to get that number a bit lower. We need to step up the donations a bit. As you stated, the upcoming events are not far. We know how time flies these days. So we need to get that up and running. I know Mr. Gary has something to say in regards to this, so I'll bring him on. Go ahead. Is it just me? But I don't think Gary. No, we're not hearing you. Could you try unmuting and muting? Okay, while we get that figured out for Mr. Aldro.
Are you hearing me now?
Can you guys hear me?
Are you hearing me? Yeah, I'm hearing you, Naika. Are you hearing me now?
In that there is no sound.
Hello? Oh, I've unmuted myself. Sorry that I had it on mute and didn't realize. So I've unmuted. So I hope I'm being heard. So I will start over from where I was. In regard to the tour, it's very, very important to have funding for this. It's very costly. It's not cheap, but it's a cost that needs to be incurred to get the message out there. The message to the Jamaican people that the UIC is here, it's capable, it's ready, and it will take the leadership for the country and lead the Jamaican people and demonstrate how good leadership works and how that the country can be back on the map as a place to be respected, where there's love and unity for all and respect for each and every one of us. It's a very costly venture, and I ask, and I'm not afraid to ask for something that is very meaningful. It's very necessary. It is needed so that the Jamaica can get the proper leadership. It's a leadership without corruption. Corruption is killing the island, and the government is the head of the corruption. Between the government and the private sector, they are some of the most corrupt practices in the maybe in the Western Hemisphere. That is how bad it is. That needs to be changed, and the UIC is here. So we need to get the message out, and one of the ways of doing that is through the island tour. And I've looked at and I'm excited. I'm excited about the tour. I'm excited about the way that we're going about planning this event and the way it will culminate. But all of that is a very, very costly venture. We are asking of our supporters, of anyone who has the interest of Jamaica in their heart for a better place, to spread the message, to get those who have not yet donated to donate. We need it. We need it very much to carry out these tours, and as I said, to get the message to the people. And we're trying very, very hard with the little that we have. We're stretching it. We're making it work. But as we get closer to the time of where the election may be, we have to spend a little bit more. We need to get that message more. We need to mobilize the people. We need to mobilize our councillors, and everyone needs to buy in to the message. A message that is of truth, a message that is not deceitful or to deceive anyone, but it's the real deal with the UIC, not with the other two. So I implore as many as you can to give as much as you can for these events. It is very necessary, and I emphasize that so much. Our goal we had set is 1,000 persons doing 25 US or the Jamaican equivalent per month. With that, it's a good base. It's not all that we need, but it will give us a good base to operate from. So I'm imploring him, I'm asking, I'm stretching my hand out, and for a good cause and of a good need, to represent the Jamaican people. Okay, and the contributions, I know it's difficult. It is a difficult time financially for many. I know the economy is not really supporting the giving right now because there are so many things that require of us. But just bear in mind that the future of Jamaica, the future of the land you love, the future of where, even if you're in the diaspora, may one day come back to be, needs your help at this time to get this message, to get the country back, and to get good governance in Jamaica. And I pass it back to Naika.
Some words there, Mr. Gary. Thank you so much for that. I believe Owen may have to add to what you just said as well, so he can give this fundraiser. Go ahead, Owen. And I don't think I heard anything from Miss Gwen.
No, right. I think I was muted. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start. All right. No, but I should, starting over. All right. So I'll make it short because the others have said it well. And I share the sentiments of all. Right. The UIC is on the move, and we definitely need your support. This is special, and special throughout the island, culminating in that special event. So, and we recognize the fact that you have given, and you have done well so far, but we are asking for a little more so that we can get this message out, get the message across the island, and at the end of it all, everyone will benefit, both locally and in the diaspora. All right, so the message is, think about it, think very hard, look at the history of what Jamaica has gone through with these two political parties. Look at where you are, where your position is now, versus where you can be, and, on the UIC as a government. And what we're laying out to you is real. There's no fantasies here. This is how it is. We have thought about it, we have planned it, we have mapped it out, and we are moving forward to get it done. What we do need now is the support. Right? So we are extending with all that we can, and we are encouraging everyone. And for this message reach every ear, we want it to resonate that the USA stands for the Jamaican people. And not Jamaican just in Jamaica, Jamaica and the diaspora as well. Because we look at all united as one as we move forward together. And so So again, I implore to all, think about it, think hard, think of your future, think of the future of your children, think of where you would like to be, and position the UIC in that vision. And if that is where you want to be, then you ought to give your support and fulsome support to the UIC. Right? As I said before, I won't take up too much of your time, so I now pass that back over to the moderator and to continue.
Thank you so much, Owen. There's one thing that I need to point out, or something that we have been pointing out since the beginning, that we, the UIC, we do not get traction from mainstream media, right? So we are depending on new persons in the audience. We are dependent on ourselves as well. So that news station, be that radio station, be that social media presence that we need to put the UIC out there. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, I know some persons may be thinking because we're asking for donation, but you need to understand that you are the actually doing this in the first place, right? We're not thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about, I mean, yeah, we have to think about family, but the people of Jamaica is the real reason why we are doing this. All right. So yes, donation is a big part of it because the truth is we cannot do it without it. We cannot do it without it. All right. So you give your efforts on the outside. It's a bad, but you give your donations from there. And you give, you can give it from inside. All right. And I think we've gone a little bit. I did say that we're not going to be here long, so I'm going to give their final input before we go. So in the meantime, please send in your questions if you need us to answer anything. If there's anything that you need us to clear up, please send in your questions and we'll be more than happy to answer them. The person who didn't get a chance to speak just now was Mr. Donovan Moore, so we'll start with him on the final input.
Thank you, Naika. So let us look at it like this. I like to give examples and analogies, right? Are you hearing me? So it's like we're making an investment. And one of the things that I learned about the principle of investing when I attended the University of Manchester Business School in the United Kingdom is the principle of deferred gratification. So with deferred gratification, you want something. It looked nice. You want it. But guess what? You're going to defer getting that thing in order to get an opportunity of getting something else that is better in the future. So when, and I say when because when I finish, I'm going to describe to you that we're about to win the battle. We are at this critical juncture and we're about to win the battle. So when you invest in Jamaica, when you give your contribution, you're actually making an investment into the future of Jamaica. There are persons in the diaspora who one day will want to return to a Jamaica that is better than the one that we have now. Your investment opportunity starts right now. So I can also make an analogy of us being in a battle. And we are foot soldiers at the start of that battle. And I tell you something else. I'm going to be a little bit open to share with you. I believe as a result of my association of stepping forward into the UIC, I do business consulting and technical consulting. And there was an opportunity that was removed from me. And as a consequence, I met upon some real big challenges. But now, guess what? When one door closes, another one is open. So sometimes we have to just put forward our steps. And listen to this now, ladies and gentlemen. We are like the foot soldiers in the army, in the trenches. who need the supply chain to be linked to continue that supply. If we don't have our supply, we can't fight as efficiently as we want to fight. You are our supply chain that will make the big difference in us being victorious. Let me give you my final statement. I told you that we're about to win this battle. We're about to win the battle in St. Thomas. And if we hit St. Thomas positively good, I guarantee you that half of the war is already won. Ladies and gentlemen, I sit back and wait to see the resounding positive response of your contribution coming forward to support the UIC and Jamaica. Thank you.
We're not hearing Naika. I'm not sure if we should go ahead.
Yeah. Let's proceed with the
Okay.
activities.
Someone had asked earlier
Sorry.
about how to donate. Yes, someone had asked earlier how to donate, so you can expound on that afterwards. And others were asking about some of the events. We are thinking of meeting and greeting the people. We are also looking to have a town hall meeting. We also want to wrap with the youth. So, and we are also thinking of people coming up with their creativity in terms of maybe songs, so they could DJ about the UIC. So we are really seeking your support for this. And someone said, are you people even aware of the socioeconomic issues in Jamaica, or are you more concerned about the diaspora? I did not even remember that you are around. You are not so visible. Well, we are making ourselves more visible. So now that you are on, Lurleen Robertson or Robertson, I'm not sure what the correct surname is, but we are concerned about Jamaica. That's why we are doing this. If we weren't interested in Jamaica, we would not be here. We would deem it time wasting since it is such a challenging situation. But we are here for Jamaica. We would be on right now. It would make sense for us to be projecting this energy towards getting a better Jamaica if we didn't care about our people. All right.
Yeah. So we have some more things coming in the chat. Big ups to Doreen. And the other people texting in. The activities that will take place in St. Thomas, you will have an opportunity to see. The event will be live streamed. Yes, there's portions of the event that will be live streamed. And I think maybe it's a good time to big up our content team, Misha Earl and Douglas Harper and the other team on that side. All in all, this will be an exciting activity. We note carefully that for some time now, many of our supporters, local and overseas, have been asking, where's the UIC? We should be on the road. No, we're not only on the road, we're going to be in the trees, we're going to be in the bushes by the sideway joint. We'll be in the middle of the road, that white tar, that unbroken line you see there and the broken ones. You'll see UIC all along that stretch also. So we'll be in the sea, we'll be in the river. Anywhere there's good oxygen, just look for the UIC there. Donovan Morat said, yeah, it takes a lot. You are our supply chain. So it's not that we neglect what's going on the local side here. But people who travel people who live outside of Jamaica, they have a different sort of awakening. Some of them, I dare say. And so we're knocking on you now. And of course, many of you answered the call. Many of you are about to take the phone up now. Many of you are about to write a little check. Some of you are about to write a big check. But all in all, while I'm at this, I want to point out to you in clear and simple terms, you are at a space, for those of you who are in United States of America, you are in a place that have no regard and respect for the life of dark-skinned individuals, and so on, people who found their origins in the motherland, aka Africa. And so at any minute now, that president that you all have there can say, okay, you know, let come up with some law. They no longer want people from the Caribbean or primarily Jamaica to be living and working in that space. So tell you what, come such and such a year, all of you will be removed from America. You are to go back to your land of origin. It is a primary focus and purpose and reason why, even though you're on that side or across that side, it is important that you help in the greater development of our nation by supporting good things, good organization, good activities happening on the ground here, making your suggestions, becoming a member of the UIC. And while I'm at it again, for those of you who are new, UICJamaica.com. UICJamaica.com. And that is part of the reason why we're appealing to you, because it is you that I see. Good? Naika, go ahead. Go ahead, Naika. Go ahead. Over to you now.
So sorry about that. I was trying to come, but I kept I'm having some connections. But I think that has been resolved now. Gary, final input.
Yes. Well, finally, I just to emphasize that we're undertaking costs money, and to get them out is costly, as we're not going through the mass media channel that has basically not in any way giving the UIC the reach that it should. As a result, the UIC has to be on the road, in the town halls, touring the parishes, doing footwork, which is also necessary. And we have no problems doing that. I think it's necessary to meet the people, to go in every nook and cranny of known, and to spread that message. And so, you know, even though we're not getting coverage, what it has done is motivated the UIC to go out and more involved in the and get the energy to transfer and to absorb the energy from the people, to transfer to the people as well of the people. We must be mindful of that. Go out and understand what it is that the people require of us, and then we need to deliver. To do that, though, cost, and we're just asking for the support of each and every one in Jamaica and in the diaspora to give as generously as you can. I know, I understand the difficulty of it. The economic situation is pretty hard, and the economy is not supporting it. However, as much as you can, and whatever sacrifices you can do, it will be used for beneficial purpose. It is our future that we're looking at. Future that will be one that will represent the Jamaican people much better, much better than what we have today. It will be in between night and day. And then with good leadership, good governance, we can deliver to the people, and self-reliance, the rights of the people restored, the persons getting their own self-confidence once again, because they're lacking. And as a result of that, people hope is not there. There's no light, although people are desperate. So the UIC is there to light at the end of the tunnel to give that to Jamaican people, but we can't do that without the financial support. So I'm just asking of everyone here to do as best they can to spread that one to another, one tells another, so on, so that can spread and the funds can start coming in, and where it will be at least enough for us to go into all sectors of Jamaica, a good positive message to execute what we have for the Jamaican people, for a better Jamaica. I thank you, and I pass that to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Gary. Owen, before we move, there's a comment that I may need to address before we go off. So go ahead, Owen.
Yeah, just want to extend the love to all, the listening ear, both locally and overseas. We want to share the UIC with you, and we want to give more of the UIC to you. But in order to do that, we need you to give to us. All right, so we are in mutual benefits. All right, so we have events that we are putting on, starting in St. Thomas, going around the island, culminating in a venue that will accommodate all, and the message will be clear, very, very clear. Okay? So once again, we just want to extend our wishes that you see the UIC, the policies, the directives, the 10-point plan, and all that the UIC stands for, and that we stand for you. Right? We are looking out for your interests, unlike the other two political parties. So we are here for you. And I share, as I said before, I share the sentiments of all. Babatunde, Mrs. Babatunde, Donovan, Gera, and myself. We are on board totally, and we share the message. And we hope that you're on board with us. You see the message, you hear the message, and you understand the message. All right? Your support is necessary. Your support is needed. Thanks so much for what you have done, and we look forward for more. All right? Thanks again, and I turn it over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Owen. There is a comment from a Dalton Turgot. This is in regards to a comment that Mr. about colorism. Is where we're people are bleaching their skin and it's where colorism is. The thing is, well, for me personally, I believe colorism, racism, it can happen anywhere where you have a mix of people. And that's how the world is nowadays. Where you go, there is a mix of people, right? But the beauty about the UIC is we do not discriminate against people, regardless of choices you make, the skin, your race, whichever denomination you belong to, we accept every single, right? The only part where the, let's say UIC, right, or when we become government, only reason why we would even step in when it comes to things is either using fraud or force your beliefs on people. Other than that, I have no problem with anybody. I'm not seeing any further questions in the chat. Pieces. We can tonight to everybody.
Okay, good night.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on.
I would like to make a clarification before we leave.
Oh, that was in the Udon before you go?
Yes. All right. So what I spoke about earlier is what I've seen. I don't know where this guy seemed to be having his brain seemed to be having an excremental moment. I have seen time and again dark-skinned people been shot down, been murdered by the state in America. And that is what I spoke to. Now I'm saying again for the well-thinking people across all aspects in America and elsewhere, while you handle your business on that side, it's always good to take care of your business from the place that you your origin began. And so that was really the point I made. If he sees otherwise or he's experiencing otherwise, maybe the America that he's in is in the sky. That's all for now. Thanks to all the people from the St. Andrew Eastern, Highlight View, Lanleys, Tavern Drive, Tavern Avenue, Kentire Close, Back Tavern, Mona Commons, Premix, Augusttown, Hermitage, Goldsmith Villa. Left with us for now. It's good being here. Prepare for this meganomic experience. The United Independence Congress is proud to be associated with all the good people across the world. Thanks a lot. Be safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. Maximum respect. Babatunde that and the UIC Nation. Left with us for now. One.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So again, being here. No, thank you so much, guys, for joining us, and please look out for another live stream at 7:30 with our General Secretary. On that note, please remember to share live, leave a like, leave a comment. We do respond to our comments, and you can to get the UIC out there. Thank you so much again for joining us, and do have yourselves a good night.